Today's video is sponsored by Insta360. It's time to unlearn one thing about action cameras. You can change lenses on them now. They're no longer a fixed lens single-purpose camera. This is the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. It's been with us for a while, but thanks to some brand new surprises, it shoots like a completely different camera now. What we're talking about today are these 4 accessories here which completely transform the Ace Pro 2 into one of the most fascinating compact cameras for filmmaking. And we'll start with one of the most unique attachments for the Ace Pro 2. This is the cinematic lens. When you let the camera know that you've got this attached from the Lens Master menu, you'll notice this is the only type of lens which transforms the aspect ratio of your footage because this is based on anamorphic lenses. Visually, it gives you that distinct, iconic film look we're used to seeing in movies because anamorphic lenses are used so widely in cinema. It works by optically squeezing the image along the horizontal axis, which your Ace Pro 2 then compensates for when you select cinematic lens from the Lens Master menu. It even offers you the option to conveniently enable iLog then and there because you'll likely want to color grade these shots in post. But aside from the widescreen aspect ratio, one of the defining characteristics of using a lens like this is the way lens flares appear with a bright streak stretching across your image. It's one of the best things you can use to add visual interest to an otherwise simple shot. And this effect is achieved entirely optically with the cinematic lens. It makes quite a difference to the appearance of your footage, and with the cinematic lens on, you will want to keep pointing your Ace Pro 2 at bright sources just to see what happens. This next lens I like to showcase may sound a bit more conventional by name because it's an ultra-wide-angle lens for the Ace Pro 2. But don't let that familiarity fool you because I would classify this lens as a bit of a superpower. This might just be the widest lens I have personally used. The field of view on this thing is absolutely insane. It is 189 degrees. That means in your frame, you can see things which are directly beside the lens, even though you're pointing it straight ahead. Just to give you an idea of how wide this lens is, I'm currently filming this on a 16mm lens on a full-frame camera, and that's already considered to be ultra-wide. But this here is the Ace Pro 2, and it's not even the ultra-wide-angle lens yet, this is just the standard lens. This is the ultra-wide-angle lens. Just look how insanely, crazily wide it is. Again, this is beside 16mm on a full-frame camera. And by the way, I've actually got flow state set to standard, so this is stabilized footage. It is actually insane to be getting this field of view with this much stabilization. The one word to describe shooting with this lens would be inclusive. You just point this at the scene and it takes everything in. It makes for some truly dynamic POV shots because the wider the lens is, the more it amplifies the movement in your foreground. Another very useful thing about ultra-wide-angle lenses to take advantage of is how they can make tight spaces look big. The Ace Pro 2 is a very compact camera, which means it can fit into some truly tight spaces. And that gave me the idea to experiment with some unique angles for filmmaking, which would be flat out impossible to pull off with some of my bigger cameras. With the ultra-wide lens, I mounted my Ace Pro 2 inside this small accessory drawer, which allows me to capture a point of view from inside the drawer as I pull it out to grab something inside. This could only have worked if the camera was small enough to fit and also wide enough to capture enough context within such a tight space. It really inspires you to attempt some filmmaking angles you typically wouldn't even think of doing because it never occurred to be physically possible. It got me thinking what things would look like from inside the storage cubby in my car or from the inside of a bag. Now, if shots like these interest you, then you're gonna love this next lens as well, because this one's all about focusing in on details. This is the close-up lens. Mechanically, this would be the most interesting lens here because this one has a focusing ring you can turn. Just like some of the other lenses here, you get offered some very helpful options when selecting its profile from LensMaster. It reveals a focus peaking assist, which is not something on my bingo card when I first picked up an Ace Pro 2, but it helps you find your focus with this very special close-up lens. Combined with the package's small overall size, this lens is perfect for getting those close-up details while being mounted to a moving subject. But then it also occurred to me to try using it in the studio to get some looks which would typically require having a probe lens to pull off. This is again perfect for these kind of shots because it focuses close and wide. I rigged it in a way which extends the Ace Pro 2 from the slider I put it on so I can get it right up against my subject and also not reveal the rig itself. What I absolutely love about shooting with this system is this is all it takes to bring 3 lenses along. You technically have 4 lenses in total because there's also the standard lens that's already on the Ace Pro 2, but I love that I can fit inside a small tech pouch 3 lenses for the Ace Pro 2, the camera itself, and still have space left over for a spare battery. It's a footprint we can only dream of in the world of mirrorless cameras, but for its benefits of being compact, you do not have to give up the benefits of operability, especially when paired with the Explorer Grip Pro kit. This is so much more than just a cage for your Ace Pro 2. The first thought that came to mind was this is like an Iron Man suit for the Ace Pro 2, because besides being a literal coat of armor, it augments your Ace Pro 2 with additional features. Because the Explorer Grip Pro interfaces with your Ace Pro 2 electronically, we're no longer talking about pass-throughs when it comes to button presses. This gives you a discrete shutter button located in a much more comfortable position up front with a swappable shutter button you can customize. You also get a rotary thumb dial on the back just like professional cameras, and the function of this dial is fully assignable. I like setting it up to change filters in photo mode and quickly adjusting my exposure in video mode. There's also a zoom lever on the Grip Pro. Looks straightforward on the surface, but is actually quite carefully designed. If you give it a quick flick, it punches in and out instantly. If you hold it down, however, it does a slow, continuous zoom. Very lovely detail, but that's barely everything this grip has to offer. Hidden within this is a 2010 mAh battery. So when you have this on, it even does the job of a spare battery. It extends your runtime by 85%, and it's also very intelligent in the way it manages power. It will use the power stored within the grip first before moving on to the camera's internal battery. And when you charge the camera with the grip attached, it charges the camera first before filling up the grip, as long as the grip has at least 15% of battery left in it. It's really a bit of a super suit for your Ace Pro 2. But wait, there's more! How about an extra slot for you to safely bring an extra micro SD card just in case you fill up the card that's inside your camera? You're also guaranteed to have it with you, and something that's truly a value add, you get a 3.5mm input jack right beside the cold shoe on top. This lets you connect directly an external microphone to your setup. This little thing has just so much going on in here. Another great piece of news is Insta360 is permanently reducing the price of the Ace Pro 2. Now, it was already priced quite accessibly to begin with, and now with the value ratio of it being priced significantly lower, there is no better time to get yourself, or perhaps a filmmaker you know, an Ace Pro 2 kit, considering it's now fresh off the price drop. As usual, I've got links below for anyone interested, and I'll be seeing you around.